Hello, and welcome back to the Pure Nintendo Podcast. This is your weekly dose of all things Nintendo. My name is Jemma, and joining me this week, I have once again my two excellent friends. Excellent friends. Do I need to say that every week now to clarify? Welcome back, Trev. How are you this week?
Hey, Jemma. I'm decent, thank you, and I hope you are as well.
Thank you. Yes, I am. And welcome back, Kirk. How are you?
I'm excellent.
Nice. That's the right answer, Trev. So,
Well, now I feel like a loser. I'm just decent.
Trev is not excellent.
He's decent. That's okay. That's something my son would say.
Maybe by the end of the show, I will be. Who knows?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, we do put everyone in a good spirit when we do these shows. Just a quick tease for next week because the Switch 2 actually launched on June the 5th of last year. And so next week, we're going to do a bit of a special episode on the Switch 2 anniversary, talking about the best games or our favorite games, what we're looking forward to next, etc. And we're going to have a special guest in the form of Barry from Nintendo Fuse, who has been on the show a few times in the past. Not for a little while, though, so looking forward to having him on, but join us next week for that. This week, we've got plenty of news to cover, Kirk's Corner, as always, and the games that we're playing. And in the news this week, I noticed that Dragon Quest XI-S is coming to Switch 2 on September 24th. And I wanted to ask Kirk, is this the one that you played or not?
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So is this good? Okay, so there's good news and bad news. Like the good news is it's coming, which is great, wonderful. But apparently there's no upgrade path or even data transfer. So players like Kirk, who have played it, wouldn't benefit, I guess, or wouldn't even get it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Square Enix made this announcement, I don't know why people even asked. Like, I hope there's this, or are they going to do this? Square Enix never does anything like that. Do they ever?
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I'm not sure
Yeah.
because we haven't. What have we seen Switch 2ify from Square Enix so far? Because Final Fantasy has been a completely new thing for Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Dragon Quest 1 and 2, did they have upgrade? I think they might have had upgrade paths.
Did they?
I feel like they did. And 3, maybe as well. But I need to double check that. So, yeah, so you think this is par for the course, potentially?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Square Enix has never been a more charitable kind of publisher. I don't think. I don't have much interest in this. I mean, I absolutely loved this game. And if there was a free upgrade, I would start it up again and see if it holds my attention for a second playthrough. Sure. And if I will say, if you're a JRPG fan and you haven't played this game and you've got a Switch to, definitely pick it up. This game is so much fun. But if you have played it, I don't think there's much going on here that would make you want to play it again. Although I think I got conflicting things. Is there new content? Like there are a couple new little story missions or something I read somewhere, but then I saw that there aren't, and it is just a visual upgrade.
I thought it was just a visual upgrade, but
Yeah, same. I don't know.
I mean, I
They
have
do
the
say
press
no
release.
plans.
No plans.
So
you think they could?
I mean, that's kind of like a politician speak.
Yeah.
You know, they could change their mind.
That's true.
No.
Yeah, that is true. When did this come out for the Switch? Like, when did you play it, Kirk, originally?
I can't remember. Like 3 years ago.
Okay.
4. This was the game where they had a demo. I had never played a Dragon Quest game before, and I tried the demo, and it was a long demo. Like I think I put in like 7 or 8 hours.
Oh wow!
And it completely won me over, and I ended up buying it.
Oh, that's cool. Look at that demos. Yeah. Okay. So the whole game must be quite long then. I'm guessing.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like 100 hours or something. 80 to 100. I'm seeing. What?
Yeah, and that's like I said, it would have to really there would have to be a lot going on in the Switch 2 upgrade to make me want to play it again. When it takes that long to complete.
Yeah. Interesting. Probably not one I'm going to invest time in. I mean, I'd love to give it a go. It sounds great, but that's a lot of time to invest. But I haven't played the original or any version of it, so maybe.
And if it's already definitive, I mean, what else can they do to make it more definitive?
Yeah, they
The
really shouldn't
definite
label things.
definitive.
Definitely.
They
It's
paint themselves into a corner that way.
Yeah. This time we mean it. So, it's
The
like,
Dragon Quest Adequate Edition
mm-hmm.
is just enough where you can beat it without glitching out, and then we'll release it later with a.
Yeah, it's like at work when we have, documents and it's a final, and then it's the final, and then it's the final. Yeah, they should name it that way. Yeah, well, that's interesting. So I guess we'll see how that goes in September. It's still a few months away. It's good that it's coming to Switch 2, but yeah, it probably, I guess it wouldn't do super well. Like, I don't know if the install base is already for the Switch version. Probably most of them wouldn't get it again unless they were super fans. And then if you were a super fan, you probably already have it on the Switch One, right? So, but there might be some curious people who, like me, maybe, who have time, who's not like me.
Wait, you have
No,
time?
curious people like me, but those who have time. So then there's you need both of those things. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, interesting news. Let us know, listeners, what you think about that one. Another game that is coming to Switch 2, and this one is also coming to other platforms at the same time, so this is a brand new game, is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 in October. So that's interesting. I have not really delved into Call of Duty much at all, but it's a fairly popular series. And there's a lot of games in the series, right? And I think, yeah. And I feel like this was briefly on Nintendo systems back in like maybe the Wii era, I'm thinking. There were Call of Duty games.
It's funny
Yeah.
that now that we have a system that is powerful, right? They can kind of match. But yeah, they did have these back on the Wii and even the DS, and obviously they had to rework them. I never really played the series. I think I might have had one GameCube game I got like in a box slot or something. But
yeah,
it is, for people who are fans, it's cool that now they don't have to get a secondary version or like a remixed version of Call of Duty just to accommodate the lack of power. Like, I don't know how they had these games on the DS. I mean, that just strikes me as ludicrous, but they were there. So maybe somebody played them and maybe they had fun because that's all they had access to. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that at all. What's Kirk's involvement with Call of Duty? Have you ever dabbled in this?
I did play some of the early games of this series and greatly enjoyed them on the Macintosh back in the early 2000s. In fact, I remember my friends and I used to have arguments over which ones were better between this and Medal of Honor. There was a time when all of these first-person shooters seemed to be set in World War II. I think because that's the easier war to, I don't want to say glamorize, to, I don't know. I think they can tell more heroic stories in that. There aren't World War II. We're all like, yeah, that one was needed.
And we sort of, it's black and white, isn't it? Kind of.
Yes. Yeah. What they started moving up into like, I don't know if it was that or Medal of Honor that had one in Vietnam. And then after a bit, they kind of threw that aside and everything was, you're fighting zombies and ghosts.
Right.
It got a little weird. If they were to be set back in World War II, I think I'd be interested in doing it again, but not the Modern Warfare ones.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
How about the Revolutionary War, where it takes you like, a minute and a half to reload your gun? You're really going to be accurate.
And there are no health packs because any bullet, if it grazes your leg, you're going to die of something eventually anyway. So even the smallest of nicks is deadly.
Yeah. What a time to be alive. Yeah. So yeah, it's good news for Nintendo, well, for Call of Duty fans who are also Nintendo fans, I guess, a crossover there, that it's coming out same day. I think that's really great. Just another example of the Switch 2 being taken seriously and third parties, supporting it. So yeah,
and I think it's great that it is coming. I know there is a huge dedicated audience, for these games. So for that audience to be able to access it on the Switch 2, I think is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, we look forward to that one in October. I think it was the 20. I don't have the date written down. Sorry, 27th, 28th, something like that. I feel like, from memory. Anyway, late October.
That sounds right. It'd be just in time to
23rd.
get the people who
23rd. Okay, there you go.
23rd.
they'll get the early adopters, and then a month later they'll get the Black Friday folks when
Oh,
the game goes
yeah.
on sale or whatever.
That's true.
Not that it will, but a lot of the third-party stuff does. So
Yeah, that's true.
who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen Call of Duty on sale previously, in very sale pictures. Yeah, very cool. Let's move on to some more news. And Donkey Kong 64 is coming to the Switch Online collection on June the 3rd, which I believe this is Donkey Kong's only 3D platformer before Bonanza. Is that correct? Does it sound right
I
to
think
you?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually haven't played this one, and I'm surprised because I played
Oh,
Banjo-Kazooie, and I know Rare did this as well. Apparently, it's very Banjo-Kazooie-esque, like lots of collecting to do. Trev, I'm thinking you might have played it potentially.
I have it. I do have to be in a particular mood to go back to it because it is a bit of a slog of a collectathon. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of another way to describe it. Not that it's bad, obviously, but you just got to catch me at the right time. It does have some fun multiplayer games. So, if you like with your kids or whatever, or if you got friends over, you could have a lot of fun with them.
Cool.
Um,
Are they part of the game,
yeah,
or is it a separate menu?
I mean, no, they're like, yeah, it's like sub games or I forget exactly. It's been quite some time since I played this, but
Mm.
it's within the cart. It's a separate section or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
And I remember having fun with them. So
I'm surprised that it's the only 3D outing that we've had before Bonanza came out. And what year was this originally released?
gosh, I want to say like 99,
Yeah, I'm
2000.
thinking around that time for sure. So it took
I
them.
feel like even back in the day, it was a little divisive
Mm-hmm.
just because it was there was so much to collect, and it was like you got to get over 100%, and I don't know. I mean, it was a big jump coming from like the country games,
Yeah, yeah.
totally different, and plus, I think it came with the expansion pack,
Ah, yes, that's right.
and
Yeah.
people who already had that probably resented having to get because I think it was bundled with it, right? So if you already had the expansion pack, why are you paying to get it again?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know. I'm going on my old memory, so I could be a little
Yeah.
off on that, but that's how I remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember at all. I do remember it coming with the expansion pack. I I don't even know if I had the expansion pack, to be honest. Now I can't remember at all.
Did you ever play like Perfect Dark or what other games used it? I'm trying to
Mm,
remember.
don't think I mean, I definitely didn't own it, so I don't.
I
Maybe.
feel like a lot of games used it, but not only a few games required it.
Mhm.
Like it just kind of boosted other games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. It's interesting because Mario obviously had a 3D platformer, not that long beforehand. That was Mario's first foray into 3D-ness, and then but this one, and that was well received, and obviously Mario continued in that vein. What and why why did it take 20, 30 years for Donkey Kong? Because it was mixed reception because of this slog, like just the way they did it was just a bit different.
Well, they were doing kind of funky things, no pun intended, with Donkey Kong.
Mm.
Like on the GameCube, they had those bongos, right?
Oh yeah.
Like Donkey Kong Jungle Beat or the Donkey Konga games, or I think even on the Game Boy, they had like a Donkey Kong where it was more like he was latching on to stuff. I can't remember the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Donkey Kong kind of they tried to stick him in multiple maybe styles or genres to see
Yeah,
what clicked best with people.
that's true. And when did Rare leave? Do you remember? Because that might have affected things too, I guess, if Rare did this one.
Oh, I want to say
So
2002.
not long after, really.
When was Star Fox Adventures? That was their last game on Nintendo for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to say around 2002.
Yeah. So that might have also affected
You can look it up later and
and
see if I'm right or
confirm.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, June the 3rd, that'll be out this week. Are you going to play it at all, Trev? You've probably still own the original, maybe. Do you?
I do have it. At least not right away. I gotta, like I said, I gotta be in a particular mood,
Mm.
and it's not a small game
Yeah, okay.
by any means. And uh, Yeah, honestly, I think I'll wait till I have maybe some friends over and just enjoy some of the mini games. I can't even remember what they all were, but I remember thinking they were pretty fun and on a system that kind of stood out for like 4-player games.
Mhm.
So that tells you something.
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll try it then, out of interest, out of curiosity.
Of course, you know the DK rap, right?
Oh, yes, I was gonna mention that too. This is the game that that's from, right?
I feel like you got to put that in the YouTube thing, like
Yeah.
just a few seconds so we don't get copyright flagged.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so this is the game that had the DK rap, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Is that it, is that part of the game, like the intro, or is that just the actual start of the game, like the title screen?
Um, yeah, it's like the
Okay,
opening.
DK. Okay, cool.
And of course, people who missed it know it from the Mario movie, right?
Yeah, now it's become, I don't know, it's sort of cool, popular at least. Whereas I think, again, there were mixed maybe reviews on this. Like it was a bit corny, or I don't know what people thought at the time, but I feel like I read.
Shout out to Grant Kirkhope who did it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Good work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still in the. I don't know. I don't know if you call it the zeitgeist, but it's still in our memories, minds, and thanks to the Mario movie, it's kind of been brought back to everyone's attention. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, cool. Well, I'll try to give it a go during the week and see how I go.
And Kirk, is
I
he got?
mean, I know Kirk won't have had this because it's the 64, but yeah, will Kirk try this one?
I have no plans to, but there are times when I sit at my Switch and I don't want to play a particular game, and I'll dig into the classics and find something new and say, all right, let's see what this one is about.
Yeah,
So maybe I'll do that with this sometime. I don't know.
maybe. That's
If it's
cool.
as hard as everyone says it is, Trev over here talking about how it's what'd you say?
A slog.
Slog. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it's like Mario 64. And to be fair, I grew up with that, so that was more like I could pick up and play type of thing. But DK was not. DK's like, all right, I gotta kind of, I gotta pay attention. Like, there's some games I feel like I can kind of almost tune out and still have fun, but DK64 is not one of them. But to be fair, I didn't play it as much as like Mario 64. So
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Well, we'll see how we go between Kirk and I if we play it. Thank you for the extra info there, Trev. Now,
oh yeah, I don't know how helpful I was,
oh
but
no, it's good. It's good. It's good to have that insight. You know, someone who played it back in the day. I think that's useful. Yeah, listeners, let us know if you're into that, if you will be playing it, if you played it in the past, if you're interested. Let's move on to The Adventures of Elliot again, because we did talk about that last week. There's a new demo out, and now there's a new trailer as well. Now, Trev, you downloaded the demo last week, but you hadn't had a chance to play it. How did you go this week?
yeah, I did play it. It's funny. I actually just played it
Oh,
today
yeah? Yeah, yeah.
because I was looking. Well, I've been using the game share so I can transfer games between Switch 1 and Switch 2, depending on where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And between Tamagotchi Life and my review game, I've been playing a lot of Switch 1. So I loaded up the Switch 2, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I have that demo on here. I'm like, I got to check it out. So me and a Jen checked it out, and yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. And what's interesting is we kind of joke about how like Kirk's maybe a bit burnt out with that HD 2D style
Yeah.
because we've seen that in a lot of games, but I haven't really played those games. Like I played a demo of Octopath Traveler, and that was about it. So for me, it was pretty cool. And Jen has never played a game like that,
Mm.
and she thought it looked amazing. And we were like, she's kind of imagining like how old school Zelda, top-down Zelda, would look in that style. Um, yeah, we had a lot of fun. I love the music.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the voices are hit or miss, but
Yeah. Yeah.
as to be expected when you got adults doing little kid voices or whatever, right? But
Yeah, yeah. I know what
um,
you mean when you say that.
yeah, I like the gameplay. Um, I didn't know for the demo what difficulty to. I just picked normal,
Mhm.
but I'm wondering if maybe on harder, the princess is a little less obvious.
Mm.
Because I feel like we get into a room and she's like, oh, look, there's a key.
Yeah.
I wonder if it opens a locked door.
Yeah.
And oh, there's a switch. I wonder if there's something we could push on it. Like
Yeah.
we started making fun of her after a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah. And sometimes
That might just be because I picked normal. I don't know.
I think I picked either normal or the one below it. I didn't pick the easiest, but maybe the second easiest. Because I think were there 5 or 4? There was quite a few options.
I think there was like easy if you just wanted
Just,
all story.
yeah.
And I'm like, no.
No.
And then there was normal. And then I think there were like maybe hard and hardest.
Maybe
or
I did
something,
normal
but
as well. Because I didn't do the story only mode. And I definitely didn't do hard.
like the way they worded it, they're like, if you're not familiar with action games, I'm like, well, I know action games, but I'm not familiar with like this particular, like, I wasn't sure what to pick. I'm wondering if the main game lets you adjust like difficulty on the fly, because that would be cool.
Yeah.
Because like we're playing it and it seems a little easy, and admittedly, it's only like 2 hours in. So if it did get too easy, it'd be cool if you could up the challenge, or vice versa. If you get stuck and can't make progress, it'd be cool if you could lower it on the fly.
That's true. Yeah. What were you going to say, Kirk?
I'm just curious when that warning comes up, or when you're setting the difficulty and it asks you if you're not familiar with action games, how many Switch owners say, yeah, I have no idea what an action game is. Let's make this as easy as possible.
And why are you downloading this demo if you're not? Like, what
it just seems to be like action is pretty much well, these days maybe not, but of all the games to say, you got to be prepared for this, that just seems like a weird one to pick.
Yeah, it is. That's true. And with just going back to what you said, Trevor, about the princess, sometimes you would even do the thing, or you were doing the thing that she was saying you should do. And I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'm already doing it. Like the treasure chest has already been opened, and she's still saying, "I wonder what's in the treasure chest," or something like that, which I thought was quite funny.
Or she's talking while Elliot's talking, sort of like how
Yes!
Kirk and I were just doing.
I did notice that too. I'm like, maybe they should fix that. Because yeah, she'll be saying what's in the treasure chest, and he's opening it, going, "Hey, look, I've just found this in the treasure chest," or something. At the same time.
Are you guys playing it with English? Or first, is it like subtitled, or is this acting that you're hearing?
It's
when she's saying
both.
it?
Yeah, it's voice acting for the most part, and for the main
with captions.
Yeah.
Try switching it to another language, preferably Japanese for a moment, or I could do this, because I'd be curious to see if the translation is a little more like the original dialogue is more useful than the translation is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have found that a lot of times the translation is much more obvious than the nuances of the original Japanese language.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Worth a try for sure. So Trev, you said you were like 2 hours in. Did you actually finish it?
No.
Like, did you?
We did not.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was wondering, because I am similar, maybe not quite 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half or something. Definitely further, like quite far in, and it's still going. Like I did what I thought was this main quest. I thought this looks like it would be the end of this prologue or whatever it is, and then it just kept going, and it's like you can explore the world. I'm like,
yes,
what is
that's
that? What
how
you're
it was
up to?
with me.
Yeah,
because we went like back to the castle, and then basically the princess joined our party, and then they were going to set us loose, and I'm like, oh, this is probably the end of the demo.
Yeah,
because we did the first dungeon or whatever however they refer to it, and now we got somebody in our party, and the story beats are in place, and I'm like, this is probably going to end, and then it didn't, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's quite long. I don't know if it's as long as Dragon Quest XI that you played there, Kirk. But 2 hours in, it's still going, which makes me think the full game is going to be quite long as well.
And the second I saw the minister, even before he opened his mouth, I'm like, there's a bad guy. I can tell. He just looks so much like a bad guy.
He does. Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, you get that in a lot of these. They try to pass someone off as a good guy, and the moment the person's on the screen, I'm like, no, here comes the heel turn.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Can't pull the wool over our eyes. No. But I'm glad you liked it, Trev. It is lovely looking. I agree, and that's why I mentioned last week. I feel like even if you don't like that 2D HD style necessarily, I think whatever they've done with this one just looks lovely. Like it's really colorful and lush, and
I
Yeah.
love the little shimmering, like with the grass when the
Mm.
breeze is blowing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I kind of want to check out more of these games because, like I said, other than maybe a demo of Octopath Traveler, which was I mean, when did that come out? Like
Oh, that's a while ago. Yeah.
7, 8, maybe even 9 years ago. Um, yeah. Other than that, I haven't really played these games, so I kind of want to check out some others and kind of see if maybe I start agreeing, like with Kirk, or if I
Mm.
just enjoy it. I wonder, do they use this approach with anything like sci-fi? Like obviously this game has like some sci-fi elements with like the robot guy, but do you guys know if they've done anything like a Fantasy Star type game with this style?
I don't know. Do you know, Kirk?
I don't. I'm not terribly familiar with the Fantasy Star franchise. So if they did, I missed it.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry, either. Something for you to look into as well, Trev.
yeah.
Yeah, but it is nice. And I was going to say one more thing, which maybe it slipped my mind now, so never mind. But yes, it does look really nice. I think I was going to say actually about the grass, chopping the grass. Did you chop all the grass? Because that was very Zelda-like as well.
Oh yeah, that's one of the
Yeah.
first things I said because Jen was controlling. I'm like, wait, aren't you going to try to smash the pots and cut the grass? And like, it was very Zelda-esque. Like even
Yeah.
like when we would access a treasure chest or find like stairs that go down. I was doing like do in my head. Like
Yeah, me too.
it fits that style, which is a great thing because I love Zelda. So
Mm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's sort of paying a bit of an homage to that in a way. Yeah, I agree. Very cool. I'm glad you got to try it. I'm glad you liked it. I think that one's out. I can't remember the date. Sorry, was it June or July? It was July, I think.
I think it's next month. I think it's June.
June. Yeah, not too far away. So we'll see if one of us or not picks it up the full version. We'll see how we go. But yeah, it does look really, really lovely. I'm sure it'll do well. I think it's being quite popular with players, so that's good as well. It's always good when a new series comes out as well. It's not just another Final Fantasy game or another. And not that we all want those too, but this is a completely new. It's a bit like Pragmata, right, from Capcom recently. This is a completely new IP. That's also a nice, exciting feature. I think of this one too.
Yeah, that's a
Anyway,
good point.
yeah. So let's talk about Nintendo Music because this week's edition. I know we ask this every week, but I feel like this could have been the one that tempted Kirk because it's Pikmin. So I know you love Pikmin, but I don't know if you love it enough to download Nintendo Music to listen to the tracks because you're not a soundtrack listening person outside of the games. You've told us this before. But Pikmin tracks have been added to Nintendo Music. Trev, did you get to listen to them? And Kirk, did you download the app?
I defer to
You
Kirk
go first.
first.
Oh, I'll go first. Okay. I haven't downloaded the app, but you're right
Ah,
in that of all the games, the soundtracks for games that have been released so far, this is the one that would be closest to pushing me to do it.
Mhm.
I think what I'm going to try to do is sample some of it, get a feel for the music again. I mean, I played it all, but a lot of the soundtrack elements just kind of like sort of merge together after a while.
Mhm.
So I want to hear some individual cues and see if it could spark enough nostalgia for me to say, okay, yeah, I should have this on my phone when I need to relax and just have some light kind of happy stuff going on in the background.
Hmm. I like that. Good answer. So, Trev, did you give it a listen?
see, that's why I wanted Kirk to go first because I figured he hadn't.
Yeah,
I did,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I am very nostalgic for this soundtrack. The original Pikmin's not my favorite Pikmin game, I don't
Mhm.
think, but if I was just looking at it from a nostalgia point of view, it absolutely would be because it
Mm.
was it was the first one I played, and I loved the GameCube, and I had never really played a game like that. Right, Pikmin was its
Yeah.
own unique IP, and it's interesting that Kirk mentions if he wanted to relax, the music was very relaxing, and yet I
Mm.
remember probably feeling most stressed with this game than any Pikmin game. One, because I had never played anything like it, but two, it had that 30-day time limit.
Yes, the
And
time limit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to get enough pieces. The sun's going down. I got to get it back. And
Yeah.
so it was nice that they had that music to kind of lull you in.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I was really tense, I don't know if I would have stuck, with it to the end. Because you hated to see the ship try to take off at the end and then not be able to do it because you were like a piece or two short. But here's what I wanted to say. Actually, I'm going to plug in a little prediction I did way back in January, right? Justin and I do predictions.
Oh yeah.
For the year, and I mentioned because we have the new president, right, Devin Pritchard, and first time we saw her was that picture where she was holding the little Pikmin plush.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I wonder if we're going to get something Pikmin. And now they dropped this soundtrack. So again, I'm wondering, are we going to get something Pikmin in the second half of the year?
Oh.
It doesn't have to be. I don't care if it's a brand new entry or a smaller scale game or even like an animated short. I just want some more Pikmin love.
Yes, me too. Definitely. I always want more Pikmin. I think, I listened to this as well, and I love the soundtrack. I love the Pikmin games, of course. I think we're all big fans on this show, and I still play Pikmin Bloom almost every day when I go for a walk with the dog. I collect the petals and whatnot, do the mushroom battles. Yeah, so it is very nostalgic. It is very relaxing as well. I hope you're right, Trev, that there is more Pikmin in our future because, why not, right? I feel like we had that weird kind of short. I mean, maybe not weird, but that short that was about the invisible little Pikmin. Like, it was revealed later to be Pikmin that were
that baby one.
the baby one, messing around with the baby. That was a Pikmin thing, but it was an odd one, I suppose. It was an interesting choice. But I don't think that counts. As in, I think if you're right that Pikmin is coming, that wasn't it. There's more to come. But that might have also been a tease to say that Pikmin was coming. So we'll see. Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question about the soundtrack too.
Yeah, sure.
Since you've listened to it, does it have that thing? Was it Pikmin or Pikmin 2, where if you put the same number of Pikmin in your group and then spread them out in a line, they would do like a special little song?
I don't know.
Did you know that existed? I guess would be my first question. And if not, or if you did, is that one of the musical cues?
Do you know off the top of your head, Trev?
I'm not sure. I'm actually looking at, because on the music app, well, they have top tracks and then they have all tracks, but each one has a picture associated kind of with the track. So I'm trying to see if there's an image that corresponds.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing as well.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Because they do have things like, the Onion discovered, that's obviously a thing, a moment, really, because some of them are quite short. But then there's, levels like, there's boss fights and even staff credits.
I think you just got to download it, Kirk, and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I keep asking you guys these questions. I could easily find out myself.
Yes, do it. Do it. We'll finally get you to download it. That'd be so cool. All right. Well, thank you. Any more Pikmin-related goodness before we move on to the last piece of news for the week?
I think it's a good segue into your next talking point, because you're talking about Pikmin Bloom on mobile.
I was, yes. And so the mobile game that Nintendo announced just recently, and we did talk about it in advance on the show, but now it is actually out, called Pictonico. We weren't sure what it was called, how to pronounce it. So I have to admit, though, after we talked about it on the show, I can remember it better now. I was struggling to remember the name, but now I just think tonic, because I think, Trev, maybe you said the word tonic. Like, you remember it because it's got the word tonic in it. And I'm like, oh, it's Pictonico. Yes, that's how I remember it. I didn't realize, though, I pre-ordered, I pre-registered for this when it first was announced. It came out, I think, yesterday or the day before. It came out on the 28th anyway. It came out recently. I realized it had auto-downloaded on my phone. It must have alerted me, but I didn't see the alert. I just read online that Pictonico was out. I'm like, oh, I wonder if it downloaded. Check my phone, and it did. So it's there. I realized when I booted it up that it's co-developed by Intelligent Systems, which I thought I wanted to mention that first because I mean we love Intelligent Systems. They do Fire Emblem, right?
Yeah.
So I was very surprised to see that, and I thought you might also be surprised, especially Kirk, maybe, because you were not at all interested in this game. So
yeah, I'm really not, and I'm the complete opposite with Fire Emblem. I'm
yes,
totally devoted and interested in that. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So hey, it's a diverse skill set they have over there.
Yes. And maybe this is a question for Trev because you seem to know these kinds of details. But was Intelligent Systems, and sorry, Kirk, you might know as well, is Intelligent Systems involved with the WarioWare games at all? Or have they been in the past?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes more sense then because, I downloaded it, obviously. I just said that. So I played it, of course. I had to try it to talk about it on the show. And I don't know if Trev did or did not. I'm guessing not, though. Maybe?
I did not.
That's okay. That's fine. I didn't expect.
But I did look at it a little bit, like
seeing
some impression pieces. So
yeah, well, I'm interested to see what people thought because I didn't really read a lot of impressions. I read like one poll that seemed fairly okay. Like it wasn't super negative. It was more like I don't know, 20 or 30% liked it, maybe, and maybe 14% loved it, and a whole bunch hadn't even tried it. So, and then there was a sort of not as many as I thought that said they didn't like it or hated it, which wasn't a super negative thing. I mean, I tried it. There's obviously a free. It's paid, but there is a free kind of demo. The demo is, you probably read this as well, Trev. The demo is not very robust, which is a negative, and I can see that being a definite criticism. It's like 3 games, so there's not a lot to do for free. Is the key thing there, I suppose. But it is, it's well designed. I will say that. Like, if I had to say something positive about it, I would say it looks really nice. It's pretty colorful. It's got some catchy music. It's very WarioWare. Like, it really is very, very WarioWare. The mini games are pretty fun and they're quite quick and easy. They do get harder. There's, for example, we mentioned the chewing one. There's a face that they take a photo from your phone. There's a face of your family or friend, and you have to move the chin up and down to eat food that comes along. The first one's very easy. There's only like a couple of food items. They add more food items as it gets harder. So level 2, level 3, it just adds more food items basically. And some of the food items you have to crunch them several times, I think, as well. So there are challenges. I went ahead and downloaded one of the packs. So there's 2 packs available. In Australia, I think it's like $12 for one, which gives you 50 games, and I think it was $9 something for the other pack, which was like 30 games. I don't know what the US price is. I'm guessing it's like between 5 and 10, something like that. So it's kind of not cheap. And I thought maybe they would bundle both. Like if it's 12 and 9, do both for 20 or 15 or something, maybe. But they didn't seem to have that offer. Or like a starting offer, like, hey, this is a new game, get both packs for $10 or something, maybe to encourage people. Anyway, so I downloaded the cheaper of the 2, which was $9, which I thought is just on the border of probably too much to spend on a mobile game, but I wanted to try it mostly for the show. And $9 is not, it's not
the
that
sacrifices much. You make, Jemma.
I know. And I played it a little bit just last night before bed. It is pretty cute, and I will say I was laughing because I think I said last week, my phone is full of it's full of photos, right? And mostly it's my kids and my dog. So and it does pull photos from all of your history. So I was seeing like my kids are like, they're teenagers now. I was seeing photos of them when they were like 5, 6, kind of thing. And seeing them, my eldest son, when he was 5, chewing down on some, weird items with a big goofy grin on his face. It was quite amusing, I will say. Like, I can see the appeal to certain people. I just think the price point is perhaps a bit wrong. But I did read someone say that their mum, as in like an adult who had a sort of getting onto an elderly type of mum, like a 70-year-old woman, the mum thought it was hilarious, and she was just playing it for like an hour, just like laughing her head off, kind of thing. So that was cool to read. And I don't know whether kids. I think I read someone whose kids really liked it, and they played it for a good hour, and they had to drag the phone away from them. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. It's just so odd that the demo is only 3 games.
So its audience is little kids and 70-year-old moms.
Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah, maybe. I have to
But
admit, because my
nobody in
mum.
between.
Hey, no in between.
Nobody in between, just young or old.
It does make me think, because I'd only really recently realized this, but my mum, who is in her 70s, she's addicted to her phone. She's always on that thing. Like, she's worse than a teenager. So I'm like, when I read that about this person's mum, I'm like, you know what? That actually makes sense. It's like, and then I've read a few articles just randomly in the past where it's like, yeah, that generation, I don't know, the boomers or whatever, they can be pretty addicted to their devices. So I don't know if that's something you guys have experienced or not, but so maybe it's just a mum thing. I don't know. My dad certainly wasn't that addicted, but anyway.
My mom is a very slow texter.
Yeah, my
I'll
mum writes
text
these
her and I'll
long
give her about 6 or 7 minutes to reply before I reach out again. Like,
yeah.
he's typing, I can see it.
That's funny. That's also funny. Did you have? I mean, Trev, what did you read online? Like, what else have you heard about this?
Just the WarioWare-esque-ness of it, which makes sense, right? Because intelligent. It's funny you mentioned them. Not to get off topic, I don't know how they're not considered like a second party. They're still their own thing, but they pretty much only do Nintendo stuff, and they've been doing it for decades, pretty much from the
Yeah,
beginning.
that's true.
Like, hey Kirk, they did Galactic Pinball, which I know you liked, the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
I did see that. I pulled that up and was looking through their catalog and saw that. Yeah, they've got a pretty diverse set of like I mentioned, to the difference between a Fire Emblem and Pictonico. Sorry,
Yeah.
we went over this already, didn't we? Pictonico.
You could be correct. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, when I think of intelligent systems, the only thing that comes to mind is Fire Emblem and maybe Advance Wars. But boy, they've got their fingers in a lot of pies, a lot of Nintendo pies.
Yeah. That's what I think of too. Those 2 IPs. Yeah.
Jemma, when you loaded up the game, it didn't say at the title screen like Pictonico or Pictonico.
Maybe I did think that, and I don't remember. I remember it was quite loud, and I had to turn it down because. And even when I first went away from the app, the music kept playing in the background, and I'm like, I shouldn't be doing that.
Creepy.
But then that was when I first just did the demo, sort of during the day yesterday, and then when I played the pack, the $9 pack last night, it didn't do that. So I don't know what. Maybe my phone was glitching the first time.
So you got to pay so they don't spy on you.
Yeah, maybe. So when you do pay, like, it does open up a lot more. And I'm not trying to defend it or anything. I'm just telling you the facts. But when you download the pack, it gives you this kind of like an overworld almost. Like, you choose levels, and each level has 10 games in it that I guess are randomized of the pack. And the pack gives you 30 in my case. There's another pack that gives you 50. So you have 3 hearts, which is very WarioWare as well, right? Like, you have 3 hearts, so 3 misses basically. And like I said, sometimes the challenges get harder or faster. Like, you have less time or whatever it is, or more food to chew. So I did miss a heart a couple of times. I didn't fail. I've only done a couple of the levels though, but I didn't fail anything all like outright so far. I'm interested to give it to my kids just today because they haven't seen it yet. They don't even know it exists yet. And just to see what they think, whether that is a thing that teenagers would be interested in. Yeah, there was one, my dog did feature in one because I did mention the pets thing, but she was more like, some of the challenges are like, there's a little snippet of a photo at the top, and then you have a magnifying glass across the whole photo, and you have to find that snippet within the main photo. And so that was just a photo that had my dog in it, and I had to find her in the photo. It wasn't very hard though, but I guess maybe later on it gets more blurry or zoomed out or something. I don't really know.
I've got that built in. It's my vision. Just take my glasses off.
Yeah, exactly. So it's such an odd little thing to just put out there. I'm going to be very interested to see, in I guess a month or a quarter, like how many people download it. It didn't even have any ratings last night. Like it's so new, it had zero ratings on Google Play, at least in Australia. So when it has some actual ratings, like people give it 3, 4, whatever stars, or 1 to 5, whatever, it'll be interesting to see how that balances over time, because I think some people are just going to be really negative and go, this is 1-star material, and then some people will maybe be crazy and give it 5 stars. I mean, it's perfectly fine. It's not like it's a bad game. It's just like you said last week, I think, Kirk, it seems like something that it maybe would have been cooler 10 or 15 years ago. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah.
It does have star ratings in the App Store, in the iOS App Store.
How is
it? Has 245 ratings, and it's coming in at a 4.5.
Well, that's pretty high.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I also want to say something in defense of the pricing scheme.
Okay.
Sure. I agree that it's probably a little high, but if I were into this, I would much rather pay $4, $5. The prices are $6 and $8 in the US for the 2 packs.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm much more satisfied when I can just buy something once and be done with it, as opposed to having one of those like gem style schemes where I pay 99 cents and I get 100 things that I can use and then they're gone and then I have to buy it again. At least in this, you buy it and then you get access to these games for good.
Yeah, I agree. I actually completely agree with that. So it looks like if I'm checking Google Play, it now does have a star rating. It's 4.1 with 1,000 reviews. So, I mean, it's got 500K plus downloads already, which is pretty cool. So maybe it's actually going to do all right. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah. Like,
And what's funny, you call it, I was thinking you call it perfectly fine. Is that like an oxymoron? Like perfect, but it's fine. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It's not a bad game. It is fine. It's fun and it's well designed for what it is. It's just, if you like it, download it. If you don't, if it's not for you, don't download it, I guess, because that's the question, isn't it? It's the price and it's the audience, I think. But there's certainly nothing wrong with it. It's not offensive, or they make it very clear that they're not doing anything with your photos. You have plenty of chances to say, no, I don't want you to scan my photos, and obviously then you can't play it. But they're very clear in the game, because I think that was a concern, the privacy concern. Of course, we all have that concern, but it was very clear in the setup. Nintendo is not going to use your photos for anything other than this game. So, yeah, I think
when ice shows up at your door, it's just a coincidence.
Well, they don't have ice in Australia yet, so thankfully.
I shouldn't joke like that, but
no, well, you got to. Otherwise, what's the alternative? I don't know, but yeah, I think. I mean, I'm
you
glad.
do wonder, though. I mean, like with like things like TikTok and all these things, you do wonder, being online all the time and with your mobile device always with you, like tracking, like how much privacy do you have?
Well, that's it, and that's why, because TikTok, I don't know what they do with their photos, but I know, wasn't the US trying to ban it because China hosted or something like a year or two ago? I don't even know if that ever happened, but like that's dodgy. Whereas Nintendo, I would more likely trust them, and also it really clearly says we're not going to use your photos. So I don't know, and like I don't know what it does with the photos, but what you're playing, you can't even really. You're not going to get anything out of it. It's not recognized. Like, you recognize it because it's your kids, but they are so distorted that it would make no sense to anybody else. Like, it's just not. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've changed it for this game, and all you see is the face. It's not the whole thing, generally. Anyway, it's a fun idea. I don't know if it's going to just be a flash in the pan kind of thing that'll fizzle and fade, but you know what? It's fine. Like I said, it's perfectly fine. My oxymoron of the day. Anyway, unless there's something else you guys wanted to add, I think we can move safely on to Kirk's Corner. What have you got for us this week?
Today I've got a physical release of a game that's been out on the Switch for a bit now. 2 games, actually. I don't know that we've ever talked about it here on the podcast, and I don't know if I'm pretty positive we never reviewed these games. I know about them because my youngest son, Max, when he first started playing video games and would get all of his suggestions from various YouTubers, which usually means he ended up with the absolute worst games that were out there. Like Hello Neighbor, for example. I used to play that a lot. He played a game called Bendy and the Ink Machine. And if you're not familiar with this, it's kind of like, I want to say a first-person shooter. It's more of a first-person... I mean, there is combat and there is some action, but it's mostly like you're kind of working your way through. I'll go back to the start. In Bendy and the Ink Machine, you play an animator who goes back to your animation studio, which is very much designed like the early, 20s, 30s, Trev, when for the Steamboat Willie Disney kind of thing. That kind of animation. Sort of like Cuphead. Like the characters in here look like the animation style of Cuphead. Mm-hmm. Except everything's got this weird sepia tone. It's mostly like brown and black throughout the whole thing. Yellow, brown, and black. But anyway, there's a whole story in here about how the main animator, I think, started to lose his mind. The creations come to life, and so you're fighting these like ink demons as you work your way through these various levels through this studio. And the studio has a lot of like musical puzzles. It's got like the kind of things you would see in an old cartoon sort of brought to life, and you have to combat them. Really inventive, very well acted. And I know this because Max memorized like almost all the speeches. And to this day, when we're out walking the dog, we'll start going into quoting this and acting out the scenes.
Wow.
Anyway, very clever, very inventive games. I never played, or I shouldn't say never played. Max had me play the first one with him a bit. I think I got through the first 3 levels before he was like, "Dad, you're no good at this." And finished. But so I never played Bendy and the Dark Revival, which was the second one that came out. I believe both of these games right now are available digitally in the eShop on sale.
Yeah,
for like $6. But if you want the physical edition, they have both been released in one pack, and it's Switch, so you're getting the physical game on the card, not Switch 2. And the price, I had it here, I think it's $39 US. It was for sale at, I think I saw it at Best Buy. You can pick it up there. The website that is selling it mainly is UK, so they're not recommending you get it from them. They'll get the PEGI version. You can get the ESRB directly through like Best Buy.
Cool. I feel like I've seen the title, like the cover art before, but I've never really looked into it. No. But it's interesting. And did you know they're making a movie?
I did. I think Max put it. It's one of those things where I thought they were making it, then stopped, and maybe picked it up again. So if it comes out, it tends to be the thing, right? Because this game, it has horror elements. There are a lot of really good jump scares. A lot of times you're moving around in the dark, trying to find things, and they do certain things like there'll be like a cardboard cutout of one of the characters, and then you'll turn away, and when you come back, it's like looking in a different direction, or it's been altered in a way to make sure you stay unsettled.
Ooh, that's creepy. Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing. So I think I did know.
This does look creepy, honestly.
But it's only teen rated, or at least the first game is.
Yeah.
I'm looking at. So how creepy
I mean, they're not horribly violent. They're like no people. There's no blood because everything's ink.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, that's a massive discount on the eShop, 70% off. It's normally $20. So that's on sale.
And worth it. Like I said, I didn't play the second one. I didn't play Dark Revival, but I know that Bendy and the Ink Machine is definitely worth the price on that discount, and probably worth the investment of the physical editions.
Yeah, I wonder if I should get this on discount and maybe save it for Halloween and talk about it again.
Yeah,
at that time potentially.
Good idea.
Very cool. Love that. Thank you, Kirk. I don't know how you find these random things every week, but I'm glad you do.
You want to know my secret?
Sure.
Press releases. I have a special folder for podcast topics, and I move them in and then pick them before the show.
Oh, nice.
Love now it. Everybody's going to steal your secret. You're going to see a million copycats.
Yeah, or they'll start sending you press releases because they might get on the show.
Ooh.
Who knows, right?
You know what? I will say one of the other ones I had in here for a possible discussion these days, Gemma, was for you because they have released DLC for Raven's Watch.
Oh, really? Like new
Yeah.
characters or something? Or...
Well, it says they've announced the Song of Thieves, which is the next major update to Raven's Watch. Oh, it's now available on Nintendo Switch. So if you still
Oh,
haven't are playing that,
that's cool. That was a fun game. Yeah, I will check that out. Thank you. That's awesome. Well, we are now going to talk about the games that we're playing this week. And I thought we'd have heaps of time, but look at us at 55 minutes already. So, Trev, maybe you'll be on the hour still when it gets to your turn, unless you want to go first this week.
Always. I could, just because I'm sort of doing a repeat.
Sure.
Well, not really a repeat. I guess it'd be more like a clip show if it was a sitcom. Because I have talked about this game before, but I do have new things
Sure.
to say, and that's Constance, which I finally have my review done. It'll be posted when this podcast is up. And my observation, I scored the game an 8.5, so I have really liked it.
Nice, yeah.
And it's one of the few games in recent years where I really tried to 100% it. I couldn't do it. I got close. I got to 95%. Some of the challenges just kicked my butt. But my question, and maybe more for you, Gemma, because I know you've played like Hollow Knight and stuff, and maybe Kirk's played these type of games too. But one of the things that I found curious is Constance gives you a lot of abilities that can make the game easier. But in order to get to them, you have to accomplish some of the most difficult platforming challenges. So it eventually dawned on me, I'm like, the people who would be able to take advantage of this the most are probably never going to see most of these because they won't be able to reach them. And I just thought that was I thought they had their heart in the right place, but I thought the implementation was just bizarre. I don't know if that's a thing with these type of games, and maybe I just didn't know because I haven't played a lot of them, but I was curious to get your take on that.
I mean, Hollow Knight tends to be, you need the abilities to progress, so you kind of have to unlock them if it's something extra. Like they make it easier, but they also are needed. They're needed, so you kind of have to get them, if that makes sense. Like abilities and such.
This game, I got to the end. I was at 50 some odd percent, and I could not do it. So I'm like, I got to go explore and get more. And then eventually, like, I got like a double jump, and I'm like, wow, this is way easier. But to get to that, I was like pulling my hair out. I'm like, man, this is hard. So it's like, yeah, I'm like, these things are really helpful. But at that point in the game, I don't need the help anymore because I've already accomplished the most difficult hurdles. So, I just thought it was curious. Obviously, not enough to alter my score very much because I still highly recommend the game. But maybe people who've played a lot of these, like, or even Celeste, that's another game this took inspiration from. Maybe they could give me some insight into these type of games. So
yeah, I think challenge is definitely part and parcel of it. At least with Hollow Knight and Silksong. I don't think I played a whole lot of them, but yeah, for me it seems that they're tied to the gameplay, like the abilities, at least in a Hollow Knight perspective, you have to unlock them. Like you have to unlock them, so it's not optional.
Okay, yeah. I feel like this had a lot more optional ones, and again, they were helpful. But by the time I got them, I didn't need the help because I had mastered the mechanics.
That's for the abilities like double jump and stuff. You need them in Hollow Knight to progress, but there are things like extra health and stuff like that that's optional, I suppose, which would be challenging to get. But everything's challenging in Hollow Knight.
Yeah. So. See, I think if I was a more skilled player, I think I could beat this without the double jump.
Oh, okay.
But I just didn't have the stick-to-itiveness nor the time because I want to get the review, out the month it's released. I think that's reasonable. So
yeah. And
I just thought it was interesting how they tried to handle it. It's like you have some good ideas, but man, the only people who are going to get the features to make it easy are the people who don't need the features.
That's so true. It's a bit almost counterintuitive. But I suppose it's a reward, isn't it? That's a good point. Yeah. That's a different way to do it, in fact. Yeah. That's really interesting. But I'm glad you liked it though. It does look interesting. I'm, curious myself to try it. We'll see.
Yeah, I recommend it to you guys. I think you'll
Mm.
have fun with that. And like I said, it's rare for me to. Even Jen said it. She's like, I haven't seen you once you did the review. Keep playing the game in a long time. I'm like, you're right.
Mm.
I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why am I? And that's why I upped it. I had it at an 8, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm like, this is better than that because I'm still playing it, and I don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really cool. Thank you, Trev. Anything else to say about that game before we move on?
Not my clip show's done.
Okay. Well, I will go next, if that's okay with Kirk. And
Absolutely.
thanks. I'm playing Mina the Hollower, which has just come out on Switch and Switch 2. This is a Switch 2 version. So I'm reviewing this one. I'm going to try to get this review done quickly. Yacht Club Games, obviously, is the developer. This is their next big game that we've been talking about a little bit because it was meant to come out a little while ago, got delayed. There was a demo. I will say when I jumped into the full game, it did have my progress saved, but I had no idea what I was doing because it had been a while. And I mean, I think it was last year, right, that the demo came out. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to play. I don't know what the story is. I can't remember a thing about this game. So I did start from where I was up to. Almost instantly died. There's a boss fight I was up to, and I restarted basically. And then I remembered the story beats. I'm like, oh yeah, Mina was on a ship that got shipwrecked. You can choose your weapon. There's 3 types. There's the whip and the sword and the axe. And then you go through these stages, and it's really fun. Of course, we know it's that top-down retro style. So then I did that and tried a different weapon at the same time. So this time I tried the knives, which was more like a sword, I suppose, but it's more like a close range weapon. Whereas previously I had tried the whip, which is a long range weapon. So there's advantages and disadvantages to both. There's one thing you can do in this, and I don't know if it's in the demo, sorry, but in the full game, you can, because it's quite hard, right? This is a fairly difficult game. And you can change a whole bunch of settings to make it easier. So, for example, Mina can take 0.75 damage as opposed to 1 damage, so 25% less damage. You can tweak bosses to make them slightly easier. I think it's just called like weaker bosses or something. There's a whole bunch of things you can turn on and off, which is really neat, as opposed to a difficulty level. Like starting the game, you're not asked what difficulty level you want. It's not easy, medium, or hard. It's just one level for everybody. But you can do these things to make it a bit more palatable because, yeah, it's challenging. Along the way, you're fighting enemies, of course. But the thing that makes Mina stand out, her special ability, I suppose, is that she's a hollower. And what that means is she can dig underground and then pop up elsewhere, which is really fun, a really nice mechanic. Opens up a lot of room for puzzles. This is very Zelda-esque, classic top-down Zelda, inspiration, wears it on its sleeve. And, but it opens up even more where you can tunnel under something to discover a treasure chest, or you can, go under a rock and lift it up, things like that. Really opens up the world a little bit. So I'm having a really good time with it. The graphics are just lovely. It's very retro. Like it looks like almost an NES game, but it also doesn't. Like it's so detailed. It's like if NES was on steroids or something. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like it looks 8-bit, but it also looks really good. Like not that NES doesn't look good, but it's a very detailed version of that, if that makes sense.
I was thinking maybe almost like GBA.
Yeah, maybe it's more
and
like that.
like maybe not quite Minish Cap, but like better than.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And
From looking at
it
it,
does look
still,
really nice. Yeah. And it's getting really good feedback. I'm obviously trying to avoid reviews because I'm reviewing it, but I couldn't help but see posts on social media where they've when it was on launch day, they're like, hey, we've gotten 10s and 9s and from all these companies, IGN and Nintendo Life and whatnot. So it is getting good reviews, which is fine. I mean, it's a great game. Obviously, I'm feeling pretty positive about it myself. So it will most likely get a good review from me as well. What else can I say about this one? I mean, do you have any questions? It's finally here. I think a lot of people were waiting for this one because when Shovel Knight was quite a long time ago, the original one, right?
Yeah. Although there have been other Shovel Knight games. All of them are on sale on the eShop, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there for
Oh,
people who haven't played them.
I should definitely do that.
But I do have a couple questions.
Yeah, sure.
First, I was thinking of this when you were talking about like the difficulty modifiers, because like Constance has that too. Like they had one where I could turn off spike damage, but if you hit a spike, like it would still send you back. So I'm like, I get to a point I'm like, I don't need spike damage reduction because I'm not hitting spikes. I need like spike checkpoint, because if I miss 99 spikes and hit the one at the end, I'm back to start. Like, how expansive are the modifiers in Mina? Like, could I really tailor it to my own
that's a
like
good
strengths and
question.
weaknesses?
Probably not to that level. You can do it's more like health and strength. You can there's one that's like create a save point before boss fights or something, which means maybe they aren't there before boss fights by default, which is a bit annoying.
Okay.
There are save points throughout, but yeah, and you also you collect bones in this game. That's your currency. And when you die, I don't really understand this, but sometimes when you die, you don't lose your bones, and sometimes you do. You have like a spark, and if you die, you go back to the last save point and you lose your spark, and it says next time you die, you're going to lose your bones. I'm like, okay. And then next time I die, I lose my bones, but I don't know where the spark came from. So I really should look into that. But you can also save your bones in there's like a little safety area, like you can tunnel at certain points underground, and there's a place to use your bones to upgrade if you want to, if you have enough saved up, and change weapons, I guess, when you have more weapons, things like that. So there's also little gems you collect that save your bones so that you're not going to lose like thousands of them. You only lose what you've collected since you last saved them, so you might only lose a couple of hundred. But yeah, in terms of the modifiers, yeah, they're not that extensive. There's a lot of them. There are quite a lot, but there's not like make a save point at death spikes or anything like that. It's just yeah. I did end up turning on a few because I was struggling with a boss fight, and I'm just like, I'm just going to modify it because otherwise I'm never going to get through this game. Because I did see somewhere there's like thousands of screens. So it's very much like a Zelda game also, in that you play on a screen and then you go to the edge of the screen and it moves across to the next screen, just like the original Zelda game, which is really neat. But I can't remember the exact number, but there's thousands of screens. And so, you start off and you sort of play through this, intro area, which is the demo, more or less. You get to a sort of town, and from the town you can venture out left or right, whatever, north and south kind of thing, or east and west, and do different. You have to collect certain orbs, I think they are. So the exploration is really neat, and like I said, the hollowing kind of opens up these pathways. So you're always looking, where can I go next? Like, oh, there's a space over there. How do I get there? There's a treasure chest over there. How do I get that? The enemies are pretty difficult. Like, some of them only take a couple of hits to kill, but they're jumping all over the place. They're like those Octoroks in Zelda when you're underpowered, and they were annoying back in the day. There's an owl that particularly annoys me because Mina can jump, so you can jump and attack, but I just can't time her jumps with these silly owls. I don't know why. They only take like 2 hits, but geez, they're annoying. Yeah, and there's lots of varied enemies. There's lots of different, spikes that pop up and down. You have to time your runs. There's lots of moving platforms you have to jump across or walk across when you have to time it just right. There's heaps. There's a graveyard that I've ventured through where there's like a statue that's got no head, and you find the head and you got to take it back to the statue, and then this ghost chases you because it's the ghost of the statue kind of thing. Like, it's really creative. It's really fun.
There's where you get your currency, right? In the cemetery?
Yeah, the cemetery has a lot of bones. I will say that. I've definitely leveled up a lot in the cemetery because there's bones everywhere. So,
I'm sorry, did you say what a hollower is?
Yeah, that's where
Like,
you dig.
did I
It's
forget?
the digging. So she can tunnel underground. That's the Hollower.
So what is the Mina character though? Like,
Mina is a
is she?
mouse. She's just an
Oh, okay.
adventurer on
Yeah.
a
Okay.
quest. Yeah. So
And did I hear the game has no map? That seems to be the one complaint I've heard.
yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I was looking for that last night. I was playing it and I was looking through because I've been to a few areas now, and I'm sort of like, oh, I wonder if I can see where I haven't been. And I'm pressing the plus button, which is your pause screen, and you can see all, your upgrades and all the rest of it. But there's no map. I did notice that, and I'm like, oh, that's
Mm.
strange. So that's not like Zelda. So
Mm.
I wonder why they
Oh,
went with that decision. That's an odd one. Yeah.
it's interesting. I don't know if it's at all related, but I reviewed a Shantae game a while back, and they were trying to keep like an older school style, and they
Ah.
left out a map deliberately. And I'm like, I don't know if it works because every other Shantae game has a map. It's like
Hmm.
I feel like a Zelda inspired maybe game really probably needs a map, and I'm wondering if that's why. That seems to be the only criticism I've seen. I've only done a casual look, granted, so
Mm. It's a
I don't know, but
Yeah, it's a really fair point. I was surprised. And I mean, I haven't gotten too lost or anything where I've needed a map, so maybe it's not a requirement, but how nice does it feel when you open a map and at the start it's all blank and then as you progress it fills out, right? Like Zelda.
yeah.
That's what I was looking for, to see how much more I've got to go or where I should venture to next kind of thing. But, you know, it was only one time that I thought, I wonder if there's a map. And I opened it and there was no map. So I haven't missed it necessarily. But yeah, it is absent, which is interesting. Mm. So yeah, it's cool though. I think they've done a really good job. It's really well designed. I mean, it works really well. I mean, it's not super graphically intense or anything, but I'm playing it on Switch 2 and it plays really really well. That sort of screen shifting from screen to screen is super quick and smooth, that transition. Yeah, I don't have any major issues with it so far. Any other questions for me?
Not from me.
Nope. Okay, that's cool. So I'll keep playing this one. I'll get my review out during the week. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening. Let's move on to
Yeah.
Kirk and see what he's playing this week. What have you got for us?
Well, I'm prepping myself for our Switch 2 anniversary.
Nice.
And going back to some of my favorite games that have been out so far, Switch 2 games. And so this week I am replaying Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess,
Cool.
which we talked about before, and I gave a very, very good review.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm enjoying it even more the second time, which I don't know that I expected. I think because it being kind of like a cross between tower defense, real time strategy, and action fighting,
Mm.
I've gotten better at it. Having played through it once, now I kind of know what to expect and how to upgrade everybody. There are so many upgrades and so many different characters you can unlock. Um, and doing things I didn't do the first time because I kind of had to tear through it a lot. Like you could go back and, like, let's say there are treasure chests that'll be buried, and one of the villager types that you can create is a thief, and you have to do that. The thief is then able to open the treasure chest, or I should say, dig it up or unlock it, and then you can go up and get the things out of it. But thieves can't fight. So if you create a thief, and you have to spend, I think it's called Mirabasi. I don't have it in front of me right now, but you have to spend these kind of like Mirabasi points that you get in order to change someone's job. So if you create a thief and then want to put him into battle, then you're spending those, and that could be better spent on yourself or other characters. This time I'm taking the time and replaying certain levels and going back in specifically to make sure I have a thief in order to get that. So I'm also like building up more resources that I'm able to apply that makes things, more fun to play through. So, I just don't really have too much to say about it. Again, you can go back and see my review, which was glowing. Except that I'm glad I decided to play this one again. I don't know if I thought I would, because the first time through, it was so hard to get down that mountain. And I'm enjoying the trip a little more.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Well, this was a launch title, wasn't it? Was it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that's brilliant. Cool. I love that. Yeah, you don't often get the chance to replay properly. So I'm glad
Are
you
you
Yeah,
trying
and
mouse controls this time, Kirk?
No, still not.
Oh,
That's all right. No, that's cool. That's a good tease for next week then. We'll talk about some of our top Switch 2 games to date. Thank you, Kirk. Did we have anything else we wanted to mention before we close things off for the week?
was Kirk done on his game? I felt like he
sorry.
was
We're
going to
still
say one
going.
thing.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, yeah. I said unless there's a couple other games that I'm going to pull into this week and see which one tops the list. So I may have more on this. I may not. We have to see if it gets unseated.
Okay. Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
So what are we looking for? Should I be looking for stuff like favorite Switch 2 games or?
Yeah. I'll come up with a list of items for you to think about during the week. Don't worry.
I'll have to go back and look at what I've reviewed too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just look at your top games, highlights. I think we'll talk about the launch, and the future as well. So we'll look at the launch lineup, how well that went.
I feel like we got to pick games that didn't make our last magazine spread. Otherwise, it'll be redundant.
Yeah, I know that'll be hard. But we'll try. Yes. Yes. Well, that brings us into the show. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for joining us this week. If you'd like to support us, we put together a quarterly magazine, if you didn't already know, and we're working on the next issue right now. You can support us and subscribe by going to patreon.com/PureNintendo. We will deliver it straight to your door. We were only doing this for US and Canadian subscribers until now. We have exciting news, and that is if you're in Australia, you can now subscribe. So head on over to patreon.com, choose the Boomerang tier, which is the Australian tier, and you can get the next issue sent directly to your door. So excited to have that. Really, yes.
Hip hooray.
Yes, indeed. You can also follow us on social media. Of course, we're on Blue Sky and Instagram, so please check us out over there. But until next week, thank you and game on, everybody. Bye.
So long.